Well, first of all, thanks for everyone for showing up. I'm really excited to do this webinar together with Solis, like the whole team here. So we got Tiffany Bly, she's the Senior Product and Marketing Manager at Solis. Seek is here as well, Seek Derilli, he's the Application Engineer at Solis. And then Igor Mogilevsky, he's Engineering Director at Solis, and Natasha Hood is here as well. So the whole crew is here, and from our side as well, Alexander is in. I think Abdel Kader. So our engineering team is here as well. So really excited about doing this presentation together with Solis. So with that being said, Tiffany, you're gonna take it from here.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. And thank you, Frank and Solar, for having us today. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. Like you said, we're excited to run through. We're going to keep this focused on commercial today. So first, we're going to give you guys a little summary about Solis, bankability, reliability, and of course, local, and kind of give you an idea of who we are in Canada and US. And then, of course, run through our commercial rooftop or CNI portfolio, as well as the 1500 volt, which also works for rooftops in Canada for our PV string inverters. What's new within that? What is the current platform now? What does it make up of? And then, of course, what's coming and what we have in commercial storage coming to the market, as well as how we can help you further drive flexibility and profit for both yourselves and business owners. And then we'll have a Q&A session. But of course, as I run through content, please feel free to put your questions in the chat. I do have, of course, like Danny said, a lot of great team members on the line with me today who can support during the chat as well as during the Q&A as well, if you've got some really great ones. So without further ado, when we get into who is Solis, first, important to note, this is actually a picture of a Canadian project we have. You can tell because they look really cold. It's trusted globally. So Solis is number 3 globally in terms of string inverter companies. String inverters are all we do, and we are number 1 string inverter supplier to the US in terms of residential string inverters, but really number 3 globally in terms of our global shipments. So that's an exciting honor that Solis has, and there's a lot of it attributed to that, which we're going to run through the presentation. So first, of course, we started in 2005, and in the US and Canada, we started in 2009. And throughout the progression of our industry experience, we've installed solar on the Eiffel Tower. We've been awarded by EUPD 9 consecutive years in a row as a top brand PV inverter manufacturer. In 2019, we were the first publicly traded string inverter company on this Chinese stock exchange. We've opened a second manufacturing facility in China with 80 gigawatts capacity, as well as we've been rated number 3 globally in P inverter supplier in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So that's exciting for us. As well as we've expanded our production facilities in Vietnam as well with an additional 4 gigawatt capacity, and resulting since our inception, we've shipped over 100 gigawatts globally. So that's a really exciting growth. We're able to offer stability within our global supply chain and the industry in providing string inverters and exclusively string inverters to the market. Some Solis by the numbers, we have over 4,500 employees globally, and 800 of those are our R&D team. In 2023, our shipment total was 53 gigawatts. And then we have an 80 gigawatt capacity facility, as well as an additional 4 in Vietnam, as well as $2.8 billion in total assets, and 900 million of that for our US dollar 2023 revenue. And then we have a 19-year history as we went through, and we'll be turning 20 next year. So it's pretty exciting for us. And of course, quality control. This is a very important thing for Solis, not only at the onset of products, is how it's built. So exclusively, this means we have excellence in manufacturing from the onset of the product. No human hands touch our product through the beginning of putting it together. And so that contributes extensively to our reliability. The excellence in manufacturing is this automated manufacturing line that you guys can see. We're really elevating industry standards. We're one of the few that have a fully automated line from beginning to end of production, as well as, of course, that provides us with real-time data in terms of not only our testing and quality measures that we're able to take with the product, but all through production, what's working, what's not, and then be able to act on those data analytics to improve manufacturing down the road and continue to monitor these products as they come out to market. Okay. And a part of that again is when it comes to quality and reliability, it starts at the building of the product, like we showed in our automated manufacturing facility, but it's also the components that we put into the product. As you can see, these are many global leaders that we incorporate into the Solis product, from connectors to PC boards to microchips. It's very crucial that we build our product to the highest standards, and that's of course then partnering as well with the highest supply providers. And this also results in our top range of lifespan. So we've been awarded by DMVGL over 25-year lifespan for our products. Trying to advance here. Oh, okay. And then of course, then there's quality and support after the product is deployed in the market. And so thanks to Solis is being invested in the US and Canada, we have such a robust team here. And that ranges from our leadership team, outside and inside sales support, product management. So we're able to take market requirements back to our headquarters in China to ensure that our product is developed for the needs of our market. As well as program management, compliance, and applications engineering, marketing, and quality management as well as we have a tiered service partner program. So tiers 1 to 3 in terms of what kind of resolution we can bring to your product, whether that's just first line on the call and on the phone or all the way in person. So we have a really extensive team here in the US that's dedicated, in Canada, that's dedicated to support of the product after it's built. This ultimately reduces time on site. So not only is every call logged in CRM, 80% of our tickets are replied to within an hour, 20% of these are handled and resolved within the first 48 hours, RMAs are prioritized and expedited. We have native Spanish speakers that support your array of business providers, as well as we have on-site service calls, ticket providers, really supportive service network is really crucial to what I think differentiates us in the market, and especially given our ticket response time. Our average wait time on the phone is 1 minute and 15 seconds, and the average duration of calls is 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So we strive to ensure your problems are resolved at the onset of the call, but if they are not, we ensure that they are prioritized through that entire process. And so here we're going to go through the commercial platform that Solis offers as a whole. And this starts not only in the marketplace itself, we do have the most comprehensive commercial platform. These are all, of course, UL certified to the standards that are required for our market. And it starts with our 1000-volt DC platform, when our smallest product, which is the 25 to 60K. This one has not only the 25 to 60K, lots of power classes and MPPT options, but it also has a 208 volt or 240 high leg delta option and 30 kilowatts. So it has a separable wiring box. So that's how you can kind of tell it the difference between the rest of the portfolio, which is great for O&M. All of our products consistent across the board, enhanced design flexibility, which we'll run through a little bit later. And this one specifically is very compact and easy to install. Additionally, we have in that 1000-volt family a 75 to now 125 kilowatt family. This is the S5 family. This includes now 125 kilowatt capacity inverter, as well as a new 60 kilowatt 3-phase 208 low voltage inverter. So lots of options within that family. It's a very wide full power range that accepts 600 volt legacy arrays as well. So great options within that small family. And then we have the 1500 volt DC product line. A lot of you may be familiar with this already. It's the 125 to 185 kilowatt, which has very high current MPPT inputs. All of these power classes have an array of MPPT options in terms of what you're looking for in deployment, as well as NEMA 4X enclosures. Also unique to the 1500 volt family are PLC communication options, as well as our new power class, which is the much larger one, the 250 to 350, which includes a 250 600 volt AC, which is great for the Canadian market. This family of products offers a full solution option in terms of turnkey skid deployment, AC combiners, transformers, so we can support you with the lots of options that we have within that family of product. Either also as well as unique communication platforms, not only the PLC communications, but we also will run through some additional features that are available within that family of products as well. There we go. First, we're going to dive into the 1000 volt family. So we have, of course, the low voltage options, which is the 30 and 60K products. The S5 family, which is the one without the wiring box, that is 60 kilowatt within that one. That's just a larger product. And then the S6 is the 30 kilowatt low voltage, which has a separable wiring box. So that's how you tell the difference between the two. These are great new low voltage options available that are also capable of 240 high leg delta interconnection. So we also have a great technical bulletin on our website that helps give you tips and tricks how to implement that 240 connection if you do need to leverage that option. Also, the smaller one has a removable AC switch, and again, that separable wiring box, which is awesome for O&M as well. So again, these two families look like this with all the many power classes within that. So the S6 family, the 25 to 60, has lots of options which help you in terms of flexibility, designing for a project, also, just creating the right solution for the customer. They also feature 3 to 4 MPPTs, supporting 6 to 8 strings, and of course 480 volts, as well as the low voltage option. In the S5 family, we've got 60, 75, 80, 90, 100, and that 125. So that's exciting for us to offer that bigger option within that family with 8 to 10 MPPTs, 16 to 20 strings, and of course 480 volt AC, in addition to the 60 volt low voltage option within that family. And then our 1500 volt family encompasses the 125 to 255. So that's 125, 185, and 255. The 125 can be oversized up to 137.5 kilowatts. We've got a 185 and then the 255, which range in MPPTs. So 125 is 9 for 18 strings, 12 for 24 strings with the 185, and the 255 is 12 to 24 strings, and 2 600 volt options within that family. And then our new family of 1500 volt inverters is the 250 to 350. This includes the standard, the pigtails that are shown in the picture as well. And this includes a 250 kilowatt option, which has AFCI integrated, as well as 600 volts AC, 12 MPPT for 24 strings. And then we also have a 350, which encompasses either 12 or 16 MPPT for 24 or 32 strings, 800 volts, and of course, AFCI integrated. AFCI is relatively integrated with all of our large scale products. And we'll dive into what's different about ours as well as we get into more details. So some things I wanted to mention on the new 250 to 350 product that we do have. Obviously, the 600 volt model that we did mention is ideal for the Canadian market, and the pigtail standard is option. We do have an optional MC4 option, but we feel pigtails really do streamline installation time, as you can easily connect and disconnect if you need to. Also, there's one pigtail per MPPT, so you can parallel upstream, which helps you basically run half as many DC wires or reduce your DC losses overall. And these are also field serviceable, as opposed to MC4 connectors can sometimes not be. Also, there's power line communication, as well as additional options, including the RS485, which is standard with most of our products. And what's unique with this one is the fiber optic TCP and IP option. There's data recording during a ride-through event, as well as the integrated anti-PID, PID recovery to help mitigate module degradation. The power response time for this one is less than 60 milliseconds. So this is a great product that we're super excited to bring to market. And now we're going to give you guys a sneak peek of our coming commercial storage or hybrid string inverters. We've already had in the market for a while a high voltage residential hybrid inverter, and we're also bringing a low voltage option as well soon. So we're excited to have a really robust hybrid inverter family. And so this would be our commercial hybrid energy storage inverter that's coming to the market. We're hoping for March 2025. And this will have several power classes, including a low voltage 30 kilowatt, 40 kilowatt, 50, and 60. And so with that, that means more power and more capability that you're able to deliver to the customer and help plan their storage project now and help them scale to later. We'll give you an example of what that scaling scenario could look like, for example. This product will have ability for peak power at 160% at 10 seconds, 200% for 100 milliseconds. And so what this helps is with inductive loads, or the switchover moments that those customers really need those high inductive loads for. Other benefits that are coming with this product are 4 MPPTs with, again, the high string current that's consistent with our products of 20 amps, and then 70 amps to 140 amps max charge discharge current, which again helps efficiency with working with the batteries. And then, of course, a wide operating range of voltages for the support of varying battery types. And so this is something very unique to Solis as well, is that we really want to enable choice with the customer, and in terms of enhancing that flexibility, but it also ends up enhancing scalability as well by having you have options and in a flexible ecosystem. So we work with an array of battery partners and ensure that we get certified for UL 9540 as a system with these providers to ensure that you have options, can simplify your supply chain, and have security that you're always going to have a battery option in the marketplace. Helps you stay agile, cost effective without the need to rely on a single supplier. And gives you choice of products that you wish for the on and off grid system and how you want to scale the system for the customer. If they have a certain battery brand that they prefer to use, we're able to support that as well. So Pylon Tech, for example, is a great battery option, and this gives, again, greater choice and flexibility for you to be able to customize that solution for that business, so they don't have to go out the gate and install a really robust commercial storage system. They can always integrate it later. So in this example, obviously you could start the solution, for example, with the hybrid inverter, would connect it to the cloud and the grid, and then say they want to add a generator. We do have a generator input on that product. So they would be able to add a generator for, soft touch resiliency. And then say they want to continue to add solar to the system. Great, we can parallel products for them. And as they increase capacity, they're now finding, okay, we really need to integrate the battery now. And so, for example, here's the Pylon Tech solution that they'd be able to integrate at that point in time. So they can say 5-10 years down the road, integrate that solution. So, or they can just deploy it all at once. It kind of just depends where the business is at and the solution that they're looking for resiliency.
Can I just add to this,
Yes.
Tiffany? These Pylon Tech batteries, we've sold quite a few systems of those this year. They're generally, 100 to 200 kilowatt hour batteries. This inverter will go perfectly with that. And we do have another inverter, but the Solis probably be much better product and more cost effective and better integrated. So something to keep in mind. And if you have any projects where this would be a solution that you're considering, just give us send us an email or give us a call, and we'd be happy to help out.
Awesome. Thanks. Ultimately, again, for Solis, it's driving that flexibility and profit, not only with that open ecosystem, bankable organization, some specific things that make our commercial inverter portfolio different than others. So first is the wide cable and in-field string combining capability that we have. This improves conductor utilization within the array and helps eliminate combiner box inputs just to help with more cost-effective systems. Additionally, we have high input ratings as well as short circuit currents that are highly rated, which help support those high powered bifacial modules that you'll be utilizing in a commercial application. And this helps eliminate clipping. It helps improve efficiency, ensuring you're getting the most yield out of those modules, because those are pretty pricey as well. So it helps ensure that maximum capability that you're getting out of the system. unique to Solis as well is our low startup voltages, as well as the wide tracking range. This is consistent across our portfolio, which helps ensure, again, those optimum yields, ensuring the system's performing at the onset of the day. Also enhances the flexibility in design and string sizing, and as well as repowering projects as well. That high short circuit current rating, the ISC per MPPT, also allows us to have DC-AC ratios over 2.0, which helps again in that better flexibility in design. We also have advanced string level monitoring, which is very granular, as well as that remote capability of O&M. So remote IPV curve tracing, remote firmware updates. This helps enhance the operations and maintenance of the system, as well as, of course, making sure you can remotely monitor those issues before they become problems. The direct MC4 connections integrated within the product help simplify and secure installation for the long run, as well as the operations and maintenance and replacement of the inverters down the road. As well as, you could have to disconnect strings in order to maintain or replace the inverter in that case. But with those, you do not have to shut down the strings, for example. The AFCI protection that's integrated within our product, we'll get into the details of it a little bit later, but that, as well as coupled with anti-PID and PID recovery, help again with the module degradation and ultimately improve safety over the entire installation. We have those integrated multiple DC disconnects. For example, if you do have a ground fault, you're able to partially shut down an inverter to work on the inverter or the fault issue, for example, and maintain continued production, essentially. So you don't have to shut down the entire system to be able to service the system, which helps the business owner retain and continue producing. And that's helps with their ROI as well. And again, systems that perform longer, this is very unique to Solis with our wide operating voltage windows, is that our data shows the inverter starts producing earlier due to the much lower startup voltage and stays up later due to the wide operating window. So even under 10% loading, we are over 97% efficient. This really helps business owners realize that more energy production per day, which ultimately means more money per day on average for them. This also contributes to worry-free repowering. You have the knowledge of the many solutions that we just showed in terms of power classes and offers. We're able to offer the perfect fit for repowering needs. The wide voltage windows gave us the capability of that, the many voltage options, as well as the flexible power class and voltage options enhance that ability to choose the right solution for the job. We also have an AC derating capability, which helps further advance those repowering projects as our systems begin to age. We also offer optional optimization. So not only do we have global MPPT tracking that we're able to turn on the inverters with help with minimal shade mitigation and without hardware, we also are great partnerships in the industry to, if you have to deploy hardware optimization, we have the options for you to do that are completely integrated into our system. So we have transmitters built into the product. So you have the option to offer optimizers or even module level data if the business owner requires it. Obviously, some situations do require some level of shade mitigation or optimization, but you offer this to the business owner, right? You can offer them a scaled package and several different options so that they can deploy the solution that they feel is best for their project. Again, it's offering flexibility. It's offering them cost-effective choice. If they want the premium option with full-blown MLPE, we have those as well, but it doesn't have to be deployed every time. Further, as our technology is designed and enabled to reduce OpEx. So we're one of the very few providers in the commercial space that have fuse-free design integrated. This is great because it reduces failure points and it ensures seamless ongoing operation, further reducing failure points and limiting, internal components that will fail is the Type 2 SPD, as well as the integrated DC disconnects and direct MC4 connections that further support our engineering help to enable OpEx as well. When it comes to our intelligent arc fault detection, this is where we can accurately detect the DC arc faults to the MPPT level. This detection can cut off the current across the arc and extinguish it. And so it's important to have that MPPT level notification for quick isolation purposes. That we have a robust fault tolerant algorithm, and some benefits of that, again, you get fewer false alarms if you have that intelligent solution built in, as well as decreased O&M costs. You have increased confidence and security of that system, as well as when it's coupled with segmented DC design, it can isolate the affected MPPT. So again, you can resolve the issue in the fault without having to shut down the entire system. Additionally, from monitoring is a huge component, right? So SolisCloud comes standard and free with all of our products, and this offers optimal control and ensures uptime and performance. So we also have O&M tools built into that platform, including those smart IV curve scans, comprehensive system health reports, string level fault detection, as well as a real-time intelligent alarm system that supports you in managing those systems, as well as preventive measures to help reduce your truck rolls. So you can utilize these system analytics and data to anticipate and address issues proactively, as well as you can do that from our plant management approach. So you can not only manage all your systems and plants as you operate, but you can also allow the customer to have certain permissions and visibility within that platform. So you can give them different permissions opposed to what you would have from a management standpoint. And you can present that system performance and benefits clearly with them, as well as, energy and inverter report health reports. Efficient debugging tools as well. So this is via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi for streamlined troubleshooting. We have 1 minute of granular data for 3 hours. So really great debugging tools as well that give you real-time data that you're able to see. And additionally, we also have a monitoring option in firmware. So firmware does require an additional spend, but it does offer additional monitoring capability. So especially if they really want to integrate weather station and external meter data reporting, offer panel level monitoring for up to 10 inverters, long distance RS-485 for multiple inverters, as well as high speed comms SCADA and Modbus TCP and IP. There's an external gateway or an internal transmitter that would be required, but of course we will walk you through that in terms if you do want to implement firmware. Firmware is a great tool. Franken Solar headquarters is a perfect example of that capability with our product, as they've deployed this for us and helped us test the solution for the market. We have several options from our 1,000 volt and 1,500 volt DC options is kind of mapped out on the side, but we can help you map out the right solution depending on the communication methodology that you have on site, the products you want to deploy, and we can help you plan to implement that much more granular monitoring solution as well, if that's desired. So ultimately, we want to lower your CapEx and OpEx with Solis. And so we do that in many ways. First, of course, we're an efficient product, efficiently designed with CEC efficiencies, max input currents, the Y combiner capabilities, the low DC and wide tracking voltage range. We are a reliable product, not only from our automated manufacturing and the components that we integrate into the product, but we also have optional integrated anti-PID, type 2 SPD, tier 1 component suppliers, as I mentioned, segmented DC switches, and an over 25-year design life that we can support you on projects. Intelligent products as well help you enable that lower CapEx and OpEx through string monitoring, intelligent IV curve scanning, grid interoperability, remote control, leakage current suppression, as well as those integrated partnerships that we have, whether it's battery suppliers or MLRSD. We're here to support you and partner with industry experts as well to help deploy the most ideal solution for the customer that to ultimately just lower their levelized cost of energy. So total cost of ownership, ultimately, we can decrease it by about 10% in terms of depending upon our data in terms of all of these items that we've incorporated into our product. And I think with that, we also wanted to bring up the tools that we have to help you succeed. So again, it's not only the deployment of inverters, right? We want to help you throughout the entire project, whether that's design support, and then the maintenance of the project. So we have Google searchable alarm codes. We have a full warranty on this website of warranty information, product documentation, application downloads, a video knowledge base, PV plant support, including a PV string sizer tool on there, as well as, of course, not only is the electronic support we also have the people. So we have people in Canada and the US in terms of our service and support contacts to support you. We'll offer O&D files or PS-CAD files. They're available for designing and implementing the product. And then it's maintaining the product. So we also offer not only our quick service resolution timeframes, but also local RMA stock to help you get the product back and going for the customer. So we're here to support you guys, and so excited to have you participate in our presentation today. And that's just one thing we wanted to make sure you're aware of. We're here to support you and make sure you have this knowledge base, as well as happy to show you guys where, we have product documentation. Anything you need, please reach out as well. And I think with that, we'll get into questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I do have there's some questions that came in, and some we answered already, but I think it's worth mentioning them for the rest of the people that maybe didn't read them. So the first question was, does Solis string level rapid shutdown work with the commercial products? Did you want to answer that, or should maybe Alex, or maybe Alex, you want to take it?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I was going to say, Alex or
well,
my technical
I can tell you
can help.
This is Natasha Hood. The Solis string level rapid shutdown that is available is basically for the residential products, the RSD, and we do work with some other partners in the US. We have UL 3741 with string level rapid shutdown. We work with some other ones there, but there are some third parties you can use. So ours works with the residential, not the commercial.
Yeah, I would like to add to this. So general recommendation would be in Canada, if you can place the inverter within 1 meter of the solar array, you don't need any rapid shutdowns, right? If that is not an option, then we're using the rapid shutdown units from APS. AP Smart would be the recommended solution, as it's been well tested, and they're 1500 volt rated, so they'll work on any of the commercial or residential inverters, and they can also be selectively deployed if necessary. If, let's say, you have one roof that is not within 1 meter of an array, then that can be done. Are there any other questions anyone has? Then you can unmute yourself and ask, or put it in the chat function. Oh yeah, Mike had a question. For battery implementation, when inverter and batteries don't have the same brand, it's required to have this on-site certification even with UL 9540 in Ontario. Would this also apply to Solis plus all the battery brands listed? I think Alex replied to this. Alex, do you want to say your reply for everyone?
So Danny, is there something beyond UL 9540 required for Ontario? Because the battery vendors that we support, we have done full interoperability, testing, and have done interoperability testing in labs and in the field, and received UL 9540 at the system levels. Yeah, if there is something beyond that, we're not aware of that, because we have done extensive testing with these batteries in the field also.
Yes, so the system is certified under UL 9540 as a system, which means it's part the inverter, the communication to the battery system itself, plus all the fire suppression system, hydrogen detectors, blower vents that goes with it, and even integration into a building fire alarm system from the battery system itself. If the documentation under that UL 9540 system is done with the separate components, and that includes, of course, battery from vendor A and an inverter from vendor B under the same umbrella, then you do not need a field certification in Ontario and pretty much any other province.
And
Thank you,
Mike and anyone else that has projects that they're interested in, just reach out to us. We're happy to help out and help you get projects quoted and things like that.
Yes, and we can provide additional documentation too, like the copy of the UL reports and, you know, things like that if additional stuff's required.
Amazing.
Eric asked a question about spec sheets. When would specification sheets be available?
On what specific product?
The commercial hybrid.
The commercial hybrid, yeah.
We already have preliminary data sheets that we can supply.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric, if you just want to follow up, send us an email and then be happy to send that over to you. And anyone else as well, of course. Any other questions? John had a question earlier about distribution in Canada. And if we're a single distributor. So John, as I did in my reply, so Franken Solar, we have stock here, multiple megawatts of it. We have sold over 100 megawatts of inverters many years in a row. So we're probably the #1 inverter supplier in the Canadian market. That being said, and I did want to mention that we have big engineering team and pretty good sales team as well that can help out with design and technical questions. But we're not the only distributor. There's 3 other distributors in the market. All the major distributors in the Canadian market have Solis available.
Yes, and then I think, John, too, you asked about, base of operations. Really, again, we're a manufacturer based in China, but we do have U.S. operations in Houston, but we are primarily spread across U.S. and Canada, and that's why we rely on people like Franken Solar, because you guys help us not only with your market knowledge, customer needs, as well as resolving issues and supporting you guys. So we really heavily rely on our distribution strength to help give us feedback on the product, but also support and deploy the product. So we rely heavily on our distributors as partners to make sure that we can not only build the right product, but deliver it effectively and support, planning and things like that for projects.
Yeah, within Solis, our view is that our sales team, which I have Canada, and sort of Zeke and us, we are support of our distribution, who is our sales channel. And the rest of us are supporting everyone on this team, the applications engineers, the product managers, the services, the sales. We are supporting the distributors to support you.
Perfect. If there's no other questions, last chance for putting in any questions. Otherwise, we're going to wrap up here. Give it a couple of seconds. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again, Tiffany, and rest of the Solis team. Great presentation. I think we're really happy with how this went, and hoping to do further ones in the near future, maybe on the residential and some more targeted ones as well, maybe more storage stuff. So thank you very much.
Of course, yeah, and we can always do more in-depth technical trainings too. If you guys are really interested on a particular product or family, let us know, and we can really dive into planning and the technical specs of everything.
Perfect. Yeah, and again, for everyone listening, if you have further questions, please reach out. Send an email or call to your sales rep, or just send an email to sales@frankensolar.ca. We'd be happy to help out with anything related to Solis. And if you have ideas for additional trainings as well, then we can maybe do those as well. Awesome. Thank you very much, everyone.